All right, so you buying or selling that Titans players and coaches do not view the Bengals as a revenge game? Caleb, sell. Steven, sell. Eric, sell. Michael, sell. Jonathan, sell. Eddie, sell. MB, buy. DeMario, buy. Scott, buying it. Shane, I don't think it's a revenge game, but he's reviewing it. He's viewing it as a statement game. Will said Byers' face tells it all. We'll play the video here in a second. Billy, sell. Michael says buying. It's only a revenge game if it's in the playoffs again. Okay. I think that's a good little addition to the conversation. Ian says sell. Steven's selling. He's whiffing a beatdown. CJ sell. Datsun selling, not buying at all. Desi sell. Let's see. William says it's just a regular season game. The game last year was one game from the Super Bowl. Well, was one game from the 2 games from the Super Bowl. AFC title game was following. Titan Insider says if it's the playoffs, it isn't playoff, not a revenge game. Karen sell. Louis buying it. John buys it. Only a revenge game for Tannehill. Redemption game for Tannehill. Nate is selling. Tevrin selling. Mark selling. Bobby sell. Antoine. Look, it started heavy sell, and I was actually excited to see some more people buying it. Sam, I'm going to answer this question before you. I am absolutely selling all the BS the Titans players and coaches are spewing out there this week. That is a load of crap. They're going to say this, and I thought it was interesting because how logistically things went throughout yesterday's media availability. Mike Vrabel talked first, then Tannehill talked second, then the open locker room. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, right. So Mike Vrabel says, no, it's not a revenge game. Who brought up the revenge game term? The head coach, Mike Vrabel. Jim White asked the question and did not say revenge.
Jim White just asked about what they might have learned from the playoff game. And Mike Vrabel got ahead of the narrative, to your point, and said, this is not a revenge game. And I thought, too, Austin, to your point about like the order of media availability. And this is not the first time we've seen this with the Titans this year or ever. I mean, it's pretty regular that this happens. Ryan Tannehill was basically Mike Vrabel verbatim. Like he came out and also said, well, half of our team wasn't on this team, which was exactly what Mike Vrabel had just said. It's almost like there's some talking points before they get out there sometimes where it's like, hey, this is not a revenge game. We're getting ahead of that narrative. And for the reason why, we're going to mention about how half the roster is new. That is what it felt like.
And I also think about a couple of different things here. Because Tannehill and Vrabel literally said, half the team is different. Like they said the line in the same way. And I thought of 2 moments. And it came from the same game earlier this year, right? It took me back to the game at Indianapolis earlier in this season. And let's remember the narrative of that. Derrick Henry going back to Lucas Oil Stadium where he broke his foot. The conversation that week is, hey, Derrick, do you think anything differently about this because you're returning to where you broke your foot and you lost your season and all that a year ago? What happened in during the week? Derrick Henry said, no, I'm just going to go up there and be me. I'm going to go up there and do what I need to do. He completely downplayed that. But then Derrick Henry scored what should have been his second touchdown of the game. He got called back by a BS hold on Treylon Burks. But when Derrick Henry scored that touchdown, he walked through the end zone, removed his helmet from his head, and screamed at Colts fans sitting in the first 10 rows in the end zone and went ham. We have not seen Derrick Henry react emotionally like that ever. And he did it there to prove that he was back on the same turf that he broke his foot on and did that to the Colts defense. So that's my first example of why I'm selling this BS the Titans are trying to put in our faces this week. Then the same game. What happened in that game? The Titans get up big, score 24 points in the first half, score 0 in the second half. They win. The Fox reporter, Christina Pink, catches Derrick Henry on the sideline after the game, and he says, that's not good enough. We can't do that. We got to be better. And then that was before Derrick Henry walked in the locker room, where Mike Vrabel at his press conference after Derrick Henry said that, it's hard to win. This is how it's going to be in the NFL. And I hope the players tell you the same thing I told them. Well, Derrick Henry already told everybody what Mike Vrabel's message wasn't. And so Derrick Henry was the truth in those 2 moments. Yes, it mattered where he was. And yes, Mike Vrabel sends the message through the company line. And so that's why I'm selling this. It's a complete bogus sales pitch by the Titans and not find this game being emotional.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I'm selling it, and I'll do you one better, Austin. You want to give examples of why we shouldn't buy this? Look to Thursday night. Look to the final play of the game. I don't know if you've seen this video. We probably could have pulled it up. Mike Vrabel dialed up the ball to Treylon Burks deep down the left sideline on a go route with Jair Alexander, just to put a little bit of an exclamation point on this win. And it is the exact play that Matt LaFleur dialed up last time that Green Bay played the Titans in 2020 and defeated the Titans. And it kind of showed us, yeah, Mike Vrabel doesn't forget anything.